Yeah, I know it's 44 degrees out in Chicago, but I'm talking summer beers this week. This is Beer in Front, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Every week I'll talk about a beer that maybe we've forgotten along the way while we get those check-ins and badges. Some weeks I'll talk about a new beer that has potential to be a classic. And being the Chicago beer guy, I'll also talk about great craft beer in the city of Chicago. Remember, sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet. That's Beer in Front, and it's coming up now. Welcome to the May 3rd edition of Beer in Front. I'm your host, Dave Zalatoris, and Beer in Front is a proud member of the Odd Pods Media Network. It's getting warmer out there, so I'm going to have a few beers this week that are for the summer season, in addition to the usual stuff that's part of the podcast. Be sure to check out the Beer in Front YouTube page, TikTok, and Instagram for videos throughout the week on different beers, pops, pizza, other stuff that I review. I get some strange comments there. On the podcast last week that was about Japanese beer, someone wrote in thinking that the show was about World War II and prisoners of war. I did a review of Second Shift's Liquid Spiritual Delight, which is LSD for short, and someone was disappointed that it wasn't about drugs and left me a frowny face emoji. If you like what I do, please give it a like, 5 stars, or better yet, a smiling emoji to make me feel good about myself. Nothing yet on the Baseball Hall of Famer. I'm still playing email tag with his representative, but I did receive some beer this week from Walnut River Brewing in Kansas. They're going to come on in the near future, and we're going to talk about their brewery. I want to talk to you quickly about Jenny. Jenny was a great dog. She was adopted by my ex-wife and I back in 2009. And even though, like Moira, she was a gangster, we loved her and she loved us until the end. When we separated, I tore my rotator cuff and still lived with both for a bit. Jenny never played favorites. One night, she would sleep with Gail. The next night, she would sleep with me in the second bedroom. Without fail, Jenny knew where to go every night. After I moved out, we had an arrangement where I would come over to play with Jenny and walk her a couple times a week. Life happens, people move on, and I didn't see Jenny for the last maybe 5 or 6 years, but I thought of her daily. Last month, Gail told me that Jenny wasn't doing so well, and I went to say my goodbye to her. Jenny passed away last week, but before she did, the vet made sure to give her some Hershey Kisses so she'd get to taste some chocolate before she died. Jenny, you were a great girl. You helped me get through a lot of shit, and I love you and I miss you. I'm not sure if all squirrels go to heaven too, but if they do, go fuck one up. In beer news this week, Evil Genius Beer Company, they're out of Philadelphia. They've had collaborations in the past with brands like Auntie Anne's Pretzels, White Castle, and Sheetz. Now they're hooking up with, I guess it's a restaurant out there called Bake in Bacon. And they have a new ale that's called Tasty Bacon. It's a 5% alcohol beer with smoked malt for that bacon flavor. It's lightly hopped, and according to the release, it says it has natural strawberry and chocolate flavors coming through, but they didn't use bacon. So I don't know if I see this or if somebody in Philadelphia finds this. I'm kind of interested to see what this tastes like. But if you're in the Pennsylvania area, look for Tasty Bacon from Evil Genius. I'm telling you, people like to file lawsuits, but a federal judge dismissed a class action suit that was put on the docket. People were alleging that Topo Chico, They have a hard seltzer line they call it the Margarita hard seltzer. The suit alleged that it's deceptive because it lacks tequila, but it clearly states on the can, and I've seen the can, that it's a hard seltzer. And I did not know this, but the suit was brought in New York State, and I guess the judge said that the person should have known because they purchased it at a grocery store where, I guess in New York, you cannot sell in grocery stores cocktails containing hard liquor. So Topo Chico Margarita hard seltzer you could still buy, and if you were looking to join the class action suit, find another one. Stone Brewing and Mova in the Ukraine, they're teaming up to support people that have been affected by the war. They're brewing an IPA called Side by Side. It's going to be available at Stone and at locations around the world. They're using old school IPA hops and newer ones, and the proceeds from this are going to go to help support the distribution partners in Kiev that work with Stone. So if you see Side by Side, pick that one up. Now, I was reading an article on WBEZ's website and Curious City, which is a big part of Chicago. Now, I'm reading this article, and I did not know this, but Chicago officially became a city at a tavern. Who knew? Back in 1833, leaders got together at the Sauganash Tavern, had a couple whiskeys, and they voted to turn the village into a township. And then a few years later, they went back to the same tavern and voted to turn the township into a city. So the city of Chicago became a city in a bar. That's only fitting. You know those Funko, like dolls, they're miniature dolls, they have big heads. I always thought those were for children, but what do I know? They have a new one coming out, which is the Voodoo Ranger from New Belgium. So if you're looking for a Funko doll with the Voodoo Ranger, head over to Funko.com. Finally, in the great state of Illinois, there's a new bill out there, Senate Bill 85. Now, this is due for a hearing really soon, and I'm kind of confused. Like, I read this in recyclingtoday.com. They have an online magazine, and the bill states that, according to this article, it says it's for bottles, where you're going to have a refundable fee of 10 cents for containers holding 24 ounces or less of beverages, and 15 cents if your container holds more than 21. Now, according to the article, it says bottles, but it's also sponsored by the Can Manufacturers Institute. I went to the Illinois Senate bill website and was checking that out, and it's kind of vague. So if this passes, I don't know if it's going to be just bottles or if it's going to include cans, because according to the Illinois, the website for this bill, it says it's a beverage container recycling program. So I don't know if that's going to include cans or not, but if you're interested in this and you live in the great state of Illinois, you could check out Illinois Senate Bill 85 and let your state senators know how you feel. If you've listened to the show for a while, you know I don't talk about founders. I don't drink them. I don't care about them. I feel, and it's my opinion, they're a shitty, racist company, and I just don't drink them. Well, lo and behold, on Monday, they permanently closed the Detroit tap room just hours after a worker filed a new racial discrimination suit against the company. Of course, Founders has to blame it on COVID, but, where there's smoke, there's fire with them, and it's not the first time it's happened. It's probably not going to be the last, so, fuck Founders. I don't care about them. If you do, God bless you. You drink what you want to drink, but It just seems to me, my opinion only, and what the hell do I know, but they just seem like a pretty shitty company.
Hey, this is Russ.
This is Kyle.
This is Michelle.
From the Infectious Groove Podcast. Join us every Monday for the most fun you can have with a music podcast. The Infectious Groove Podcast uses a positive and fun approach as we take time every week to share our jammy jams, then dig into a thought-provoking topic discussing all decades and genres of music. You can find the Infectious Groove Podcast on all major podcast platforms, or you can head to infectiousgroovepodcast.com to find us there and subscribe. We might have a controversial opinion here or there, but we always have fun with it.
Oh, I'm sure I'll say something dumb.
Subscribe to the Infectious Groove Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network.
Be sure to catch Infectious Groove wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, the beer that's in front of me now is the summer selection from Revolution. This is Sun Crusher Summer Ale. This is 35 IBUs, 5.3% alcohol, and you can only get it during the warm weather seasons. This is really good. It's juicy and refreshing with radiant citrus notes. So I'm going to open this can up and it's going to radiate. But let's check it out. Sun Crusher is a really good, nice color to it. I like it. It's a little darker of a golden ale. Nice foam, good carbonation here. Oh, it's radiating. It is radiating a nice citrus aroma. Really good. I like the aroma here. No, that's really good. I get the citrus notes here. It's very light. It's refreshing. I think this would be perfect on a warm summer day. Hopefully, we'll get those here in Chicago because the weather's been goofy the past few weeks. But once it warms up, I'm killing some Sun Crusher. This is really good. If you see it in the Chicagoland area, I would definitely put it in the cart. You can get it everywhere, your grocery stores, liquor stores, or just head over to Revolution and get it there. But no, I'm a big fan of Sun Crusher. I think you'll enjoy it, so check out Sun Crusher from Revolution. All right, the next of the summer beers that I'm going to have is Bell's Oberon. This is a wheat ale, only comes out in the summertime. I like it. It's 5.8%. It has a really nice, it's like the taste of summer. It's very bright. They just use wheat malt, hops, water, and their signature house ale yeast. It's a bright orange color, citrusy, smooth, and refreshing. That's according to their website. I actually picked this up at Costco. They had a full case of this there. So let's crack open Bell's Oberon. Bell's Oberon is a nice orangey color, good carbonation, good, I'd say almost 3 fingers of foam here. Very nice aroma. I get a lot of citrus here. It smells like summer. I think it smells great. Get a little, I'm not sure what hops they use. It doesn't list here on the website. I get a little, almost like spiciness. I think it's really good. I get a lot of, like, on the back end of it, more like orange notes, like an orange wedge. It's delicious. It's out every year. It's been around for years and years. It's the summer ale. So if you see it from Bell's, definitely put it in the cart. This is Oberon. All right, the last of the summer beers is from Sierra Nevada. This is their Summerfest. This is a summer lager. This was around years and years ago. I haven't seen this one in a while, so I'm looking forward to having this again. It's a Pilsner, according to their website, 5% alcohol. This says that it has spicy floral hops and hints of lemon zest. So let's crack open Sierra Nevada's Summerfest. Summerfest has a really nice light color, like rays of sunshine on a hot summer day. Smells good. It has not old school lager smell, but I really enjoy the smell of this. Yeah, that's really good. I do see where it says it has hints of lemon zest. I do pick that up in the taste. I think this is outstanding. Yeah, that's good. Nice, dry finish here. This is really good. I think you don't even have to call this Summerfest. You can make this a year-round lager, and I would drink this. If you see this, it's in a new purple can. I don't think it was purple before, but it looks like your regular can of Sierra Nevada, but the can is purple. Summerfest. I would definitely put a 6-pack, put a 12-pack in the cart. It's that good. Refreshing summer beer. If you like lagers, I think you're going to enjoy this one. So pick up Sierra Nevada's Summerfest. Oh, we got a little bonus for you on this episode of Beer in Front. I'm going to do a pop review. Today, I'm going to have Jarritos Tamarind. This is, I've never had, I'm 55. It took me till I was 50 until I heard about Jarritos. I led a sheltered white man life where I never had this. Now that I've had this, I'm hooked. This stuff is fantastic. They have a ton of flavors, pineapple, orange, but the tamarind is my favorite. It's kind of like a murky brown color, but let's crack it open. I will say, the sound effect on the Jarritos is not good. It smells phenomenal. It just smells like spicy tamarind. No, that's just so good. Really nice flavor. If you like tamarind, I think you'll. If you like tamarind, then you've had this and you don't need to listen to my show. But for those gringos out there who are like me that never heard of this shit before, you need to put Jarritos in the cart. This stuff is delicious. Now, this is used with real sugar. There's no high fructose corn syrup here. The ingredients are carbonated water, sugar, natural flavor, citric acid, color, and all of that. Really good. I'm a huge fan of Jarritos. If you see it, put it in the cart. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's a really nice flavor. I really dig the tamarind. Okay, that's going to wrap things up for this week's episode of Beer in Front. I thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/beerinfront for more info. I put some videos up there. Every now and then I throw a little blog feed. So you could head over to patreon.com/beerinfront for more info. You don't have to. I would like it, but you don't have to. You could just, if you like the show, give it 5 stars, share it on social media. That means a lot. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Hopefully next week it'll be warm and we could actually enjoy the summer beers I talked about. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next week on the podcast. And remember, sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet.